everyone. Welcome to Talk a Book. Talk a Book is a concept of reading books in an interesting and innovative way. At Talk a Book, we are reading books through pictures, videos, presentations, which makes the whole discussion very interesting. And along with that, the ideas and essence conveyed by the author in the book remains with the participants for a very long time. And when we physically pick up the book and start reading, the comprehension is far, far better. Talk a Book has been honored by the presence of many great sportspersons, along with a best-selling author, Mr. Prakash Iyer. Today is a special day again because we are joined by Mr. Harry Paul, the co-author of international best-selling book, Fish. He has authored many other books too. Before I go and start my talk with Mr. Harry Paul, I would like to share a video with all of you. Let us have a look at it. Harry, the fish guy Paul, is the co-author of one of the best-selling business books in history, Fish, a proven way to boost morale and improve results. This book has sold more than 6 million copies, and its concepts have been put into place at leading companies like Verizon, Johnson & Johnson, Domino's, BMW, and many more. With a PhD in experience, Harry has over 30 years of business experience, including first-hand knowledge in running all aspects of a management training and consulting business, including sales, distribution, product development, and international operations. For 20 years, since Fish's phenomenal debut, Paul has traveled the world helping organizations transform their culture and build fun-focused teams. Prior to embarking on his own professional speaking career, he managed the speaking engagements of Dr. Ken Blanchard, co-author of The 1 Minute Manager. Thank you, Harry, for accepting the invite at Talk a Book. It is our utmost pleasure to have you on our session. Well, yes, I now invite Harry to please come up.
Yes.
Hello, Harry. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thank you, Harry, for joining the session. It is our honor to have you with us on Talk a Book. And how are you doing?
Doing great. Just having fun here in Southern California and trying to make the most of life during these pandemic times. And I know your country as well as mine are going through some interesting situations right now.
Yes. And you know, in these situations, we are innovating new things. Having these sessions online is one of them. Harry, let us very quickly start with this phenomena of fish. This book, which converted into a philosophy and has been adopted throughout the world. Please tell us something about this book.
Well, interestingly, the fish market has been doing what they do. This book is based on the world-famous Pike Place Fish Market in Seattle, Washington. And they've been doing that kind of high-energy street theater sales and marketing approach for many years. And my co-author, John, saw that and he was enthralled and said, wow, how can I get this energy into my own company? And then he says, wait a minute, I think the world would like to have that kind of energy in all the other companies. And he approached them and asked them if he could film them. And he did, and it became a very successful video, the fish video. And from that spawned a book which they wanted Ken Blanchard to be the co-author, but he had so many books lined up because he's very prolific as a writer. So they asked me if I would, be part of it, and I said sure. And once I looked at it first before I said sure, and said, wow, this is something I can get behind, because it's making work the place you want to be, instead of waking up in the morning and saying, oh geez, I got to go to work today. Now we say, I get to go to work, and think about the difference, have to versus get to. And that's what really got me excited about the project.
True. Even when we were reviewing this book and we came across all these four practices rather than principles, the four practices were wonderful. And if they are adopted, I'm sure they're going to make a huge difference in the workplace. But I want to ask you that my participants in these sessions are varied. I have professionals, I have students, I have homemakers as well. So how would you guide the homemakers and the students to adopt these philosophies in their lives, and how can they actually bring about a positive change in their lives too?
Well, it's a great question. And the beauty of fish, and what really attracted me to it, and why it's been so successful, it's a crossover book. In other words, it's a business book, but can help with family, it can help with schools, it could help, as you said, a homemaker. Because when you think of the four practices, okay, choose your attitude, be there, make their day, and play. Whatever order you want to put them in. Choose your attitude. How many times if we have children, we say, we don't like your attitude, you better change your attitude. Attitude starts everything. Being present with people. How many times do parents hear, from a child, hey, I have something I want to discuss with you, but we kind of continue to do what we do and let them try to fit themselves in, instead of saying, okay, let me turn off my computer, put the newspaper down, and speak directly to you. So we have to be present with each other, just as you and I are making eye contact across 11,000 miles. We are present with each other, and we have a good attitude. We're both smiling and enjoy what we're doing. And then we make each other's day. We make people feel good. Do you want to bring joy to someone's life or aggravation? And the last part is play. Have fun. Life is too short not to smile, not to have fun. It's proven time and time again, the more you laugh, the more you enjoy life, the more you smile, the better you feel, and life is much more easily gotten through. And those things transcend business into personal life. Even when fish first became popular, they were showing the video in my kids' school not only to the teachers, but to the students. And some of the first programs I did as a speaker, because I was not a professional speaker before fish, for schools and school districts. And when you look at by industry, the two biggest industries, there's many, as you said, are using it, are education and healthcare. And when you think about those are two very, very people-centric industries. So fish may be a business book, but it's a book for life.
Correct. It is. And once you start using them, you actually come across and you actually realize what kind of impact it can have on the results that you will be producing. So that's absolutely great. One question that came up to me from somebody, it's a wonderful one, that there are two schools of thoughts. One say that success is the cause and boost in morale or morale is its result. Others say vice versa. What is your thought on this?
I agree. They're vice versa. Ken Blanchard and people who feel good about themselves produce good results, and people who produce good results feel good about themselves. So which comes first? I don't know, but I know they're both interconnected, and I don't think you could choose one without the other. I think they're intertwined. I really do, because it goes back to that have to versus get to. And when we get to do something, I think it becomes our choice. I choose to get to go to work. I don't have to. If I have to go to work, someone else is making that decision for me. But if I say I get to go to work, that's my decision. And if it's my decision, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I made the right decision by having a good attitude, by being present with people, having fun, and making people's day. That's why if you produce good results, you feel good. You feel good if you produce good results. They're so intertwined.
Yeah, things are. As the four practices that you people have put up, they're all intertwined. Everything has to go hand in hand. If we say that we'll only choose our attitude and go ahead, they may not work. It may not work. You have to be there. You have to make people's day. So similarly, this is also intertwined and go hand in hand. Uh, Youngsters nowadays, or if we talk about the young generation at any point of time, they crave for success more than efforts. And they think that everything has a shortcut. How would you guide the parents, of these youngsters, the parents especially, that they can help them understand that success is not, something that is going to come instantly? So how do you think they should guide their children?
Wow, with two grown children, you think I'd have all the answers? uh, and thankfully, our children are self-sufficient, not on the dad's payroll, mom's payroll, and they got great careers. So must have done something right with fish. And I think it gets back to with children. There are no shortcuts. I think that's what's a lot of problems with society now is with technology, everything's instant. You and I, 11,000 miles apart, we are communicating instantly with no lag. And they think the world's that way. And I think the best thing we can tell children today is life is not a race. Life is a journey. And through that journey, you're going to take some wrong turns. You're going to take a lot of right turns. And you're going to come across challenges. And those challenges will make you stronger if you face them, if you look at them and say, okay, here's a challenge. I'm not running away from it. I'm going to take care of that challenge. So I think there are no shortcuts. People say, oh, you're a best-selling author. Well, my book came out when I was 50 years old. So that is not overnight success. It's been a great, ride since. But everything I did before that led to it. My association with Ken, my working with Ken as a speaker, my working with Ken as a working liaison with his publishers. So you people say, oh, you were so lucky you got to do the fish book. Everything I did before that led to it. So it wasn't like, oh, here's a book and you're going to become a best-selling author. No, I got to that point and I was able to leverage everything I learned before that to try to help that book become a bestseller. And it did. Is there some luck and serendipity involved? Of course, everything in life is. But we were planning. I wasn't planning for it, but everything I did helped me plan for the book.
Wow, what a great lesson. What a great lesson. And I'm sure when I'm going to play this recording to my participants, they are going to learn so much. Well, I have some dignitaries with us today, and most of them are my mentors. So one of my mentors said something very good. Spontaneity is never spontaneous. It is always practiced. So it is never that you do something spontaneously. There's a long, journey which goes behind it. So that is a wonderful thing you spoke about, Harry. Thank you so much. And I came across this one book of yours. I think it's the latest one. The title is very compelling. It says, Who Kidnapped Excellence? Now, that is a very compelling title. Can you tell us something about this book, please?
Sure. It's about cultural, corporate culture. And who kidnapped excellence? Who kidnapped excellence? Our theory with my co-author, John Britt, was average kidnapped excellence. And what happens in corporations, we are always striving towards excellence. Do we always get there? I don't know if that's possible, but we have to move in that direction, because if we're not moving towards excellence, we're moving away from it towards average. And when you think about companies that are striving to be their best and they run into some of those wrong turns or roadblocks or speed bumps, whatever you want to call them, the first thing they do is start making excuses saying, no, we're still excellence. We still do things in an excellent way. And what happens is they're descending into average, but since they make excuses, they're now accepting average as their excellence. And when that happens, bad things happen. So excellence is something we strive for, because if we're not moving towards excellence, we're moving away from it, and we're just wallowing in the sludge of negativity.
Yeah, once again, very true that excellence and being an average never go hand in hand. You have to choose one, and you have to be, you have to run after excellence. So that is
Perfect.
very important. Yeah.
Perfect. That was a perfect way of saying it. You have to choose excellence, or you have to choose average. You can't have both.
You can't have both. So, Harry, I think this would be my last question for the evening, though I want to continue, but then time has it, and I would just like to ask you that how did you like, or what would you say about this idea of Talk a Book? What are your thoughts about this idea of Talk a Book?
If you would have asked me this question 20 years ago, I would have said not very relevant. Why? Because there were thousands of bookstores, and it was very easy to, I shouldn't say easy, there was a method of producing and marketing and distributing a book. Nowadays, all that's gone. You go to Amazon, it's basically a marketplace, but it doesn't really get into that browsing of a book. So what you're doing, I think, with Talk a Book is you're doing online browsing. We're going to spend 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, and we're talking about a book, the book, and we're saying this is what it can do for you personally. This is what it can do for you in a business sense. So in actuality, we're doing what someone used to do by picking up a book and looking at it. So I think today you're going to see more and more programs like Talk a Book to help us with our online browsing, because as much as Amazon tries, their pages are too busy. They're more interested in selling a book than selling a philosophy or a concept, which is what we used to get when we go to a bookstore and browse.
True. Thank you, Harry. And before I say goodbye, one golden rule that you would like to give away to all of us for success in life. One golden rule.
Choose your attitude. When you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, today I'm going to be magnificent. Because if you don't do that, you are choosing ordinary by default. And it's all within us to choose magnificent. And when we do, we will become magnificent.
Thank you so much, Harry. It was a wonderful session and a wonderful time with you. We have definitely learned, and when I'm going to put up this video with my participants, they are going to learn many, many good things out of this, definitely. Thank you. Have a lovely day and a wonderful life ahead. I'm sure we'll be in connect later after this too. But for today, I would like to say goodbye, and goodbye to all the participants who have joined, my mentors, and all of those who joined today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harry. Have a nice day.